really help the channel grow. And here comes my sister. And let's see, where do we even start?
Hi, I'm here, humans. So, I did. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I don't know if
What
you guys
happened?
saw that, but that was sort of like a time warp that happened. My game was lagging, but anyway, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and comment down below all of your thoughts because this might be the last episode of Raft, at least until Chapter 2 comes out. This is an early access game, as we've mentioned in the beginning, so we are doing a commentary on all our thoughts and all of that gamer thing that Echo wanted to do. And basically, I'm stealing this idea from her. So,
So what I wanted to do originally was to do some edits with the game review, but I thought it would be better if we already have the face cam, but since we don't really wanna do the face thing, so we're just gonna give you clips of the game
yeah.
or whatever we think of in the middle of it.
Well, I won't. I'll just give you a tour of everything and then show you
All
specific
right.
moments of those incidents, at least for me. So, you might have noticed that our raft changed a lot in just like 2 episodes. But basically, hey, come here, Echo. You're just watching. Okay.
I
Anyway,
just I want to see the big boat.
yeah,
Oh,
the big boat,
there you go.
which
Oh, it's a good thumbnail. Come here. It would
where
probably make a good thumbnail if you
good
come here.
thumbnail. See, Echoes the
Shark is
gamer. I'm
coming.
just. Oh no, the shark will nom on my butt. Ah, see, I told
Yeah,
you. It's
let's kill
always
it
me.
first. Okay,
Okay,
okay. This is one weird part about the game. I like that the shark aggroes my companion versus
shut
me.
up.
I don't know if that's a game thing, but I receive less aggro from the shark. I'm the game host, so I'm not sure if that's supposed to be part of the game or if there's some kind of random number thingy for this shark. As a Actually, my day job is a software engineer, so I know about some designs and functions and whatnot. So I'm not sure if that's a feature or a bug or maybe the random number thingy of whatever the shark's target is doing something funny because every time I spend like 30 minutes in the water or so, I don't get this shark's aggro. It's always her in Medela getting the aggro, and now because of that, I actually learned how to kill the shark efficiently, first with the bow and the spear. So what I don't like is that the shark ignores me. I want more shark time. Give me shark time. And yeah, what
I
could be improved on that? Yeah, give me more shark time. I'll be happy with shark time.
mean, it might not be the game, as everyone would know at this point by now, whether on purpose.
Pufferfish.
Okay.
Okay.
Whether that's on
Oh my
purpose or
god.
not, I have really bad luck. So if it's randomly generated with my real life
You
luck,
just suck.
yeah, basically. So
Okay, shark is dead.
while Echo is playing with the fishes, I'm going to give you a tour of the boat. As usual,
Get the thumbnail. Did you get the
yeah,
thumbnail
I
thing?
did get a thumbnail. It might be
It's
different from
beautiful,
yours.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So normally Echo would be like killing the shark and killing the pufferfish just so I can go and help her collect resources from the deep down, dark deep down, as Jacksepticeye would say. But while she does hunt for the boars and the pigs and the fish and the screecher, I tend to stay here and do the smelting, the household work. Basically, I don't mind. I find designing the raft relaxing as long as the bugs, which or features or improvements will doesn't happen. But we'll get into that later. So here's the collection box. Echo tends to collect stuff underwater when she's not aggroing the shark and the shark is still alive. So she would collect more resources than I do, but she's too lazy to organize them in their own box. So we place a dump box here for her to put the items in. And sometimes we would.
Because she knows where everything is. It's more efficient if she just organizes everything instead of me just going, where the fuck is everything?
Yeah, point taken. I don't mind it. You're the hunter, so I don't mind it. And sometimes we would quit mid game because we tend to ignore our bodily needs unless someone shouts at us and says lunchtime or something. So we put this sign saying collected no, and then we'll change it to yes if ever we do. And then starting, should I start from the captain's peak? Nah,
Yeah,
I
sure.
won't.
I'm coming.
I won't. So actually,
She's giving
yeah.
a tour of the boat
No,
right now.
I'll just do the captain's peak from the very start because it's easier to go up from the above to the ground, ground up, so up from the ground. What? Because we have less features up than down. So here's the bossy chamber and her big high chair, and this is where she pilots the things. There are
Yeah.
some visibility issues. Oh, that visibility issue was fixed
She
when I
built
removed it.
this thing so high up so that she doesn't have to deal with me down there.
Yeah, basically. And yeah, there are she can see everything aside from that certain blind spot right there, but that should be fine. She has the navigator here because she is the captain. She has her own water station here, her own grill because she tends to cook the shark meat and eat it for herself, while she also fish and put it in this storage box in particular. She has a cute little duck here, and that's pretty much what the captain or bossy chamber is. And then going down slightly. Not that wasn't slight. Well, we can start from here anyway. Cut off from the captain's quarter is a free area here. I don't really have any use for this second floor, so it's just going to be there. Third floor is where we moved the deluxe suite from last time, and we just placed it here. It's still a pretty good view. Still, it has more, arguably, even though it's not so obvious, it does have more space than what we originally intended or from our last video. And here is the business deluxe suite. It's not penthouse anymore because it's not at the tippy top, but it's still pretty good. Look at that, lying down or standing up on the bed. And there are the radio here, which radio here and also down below, which creeps me out still. So they survived, no, 162. So yeah, these are stuff that we don't particularly run into issues with. So let's go with the stuff that we do. So as you can see here, this is where our animal plot, grass plot used to be. But I moved it upstairs because when we had started putting on reinforcements, even though we start from inside and then going out, when we did completed the reinforcement, the shark tends to numb on spaces in the middle of our raft, which caused me to worry. So I made most of the items be lifted up, like that chest, and the grass plots, which, oops, I fell. The grass plots, which tend to cover all visibility of the ground, I moved up here. I don't really know why the grass grew. I didn't water them, but yeah,
Maybe it rained, yeah.
I don't know if the rain makes them grow though. Oh well.
Shit.
So that
should.
happened.
It should. It should.
Anyway, and then if you can see here, this is the temporary captivity for the animals, because one of the frustration I have is that you press E to hold and release animals, and then at the same time you open and close the door using E. So when I do press E, I tend to drop the animals. So my plan is to like carry them, dump them into this box, open this, and then dump them in their captivity.
Or you could just hold E, jump onto this box, jump on top of this cage, and then drop it.
Well, that was an afterthought that I mentioned when we played yesterday that we could also
Alright.
do if ever. But yeah, so I keep falling. So yeah, that's one of the two of the frustrations. The shark numbing on
So-
reinforced, and hold E and press E to release animals and open and close the door.
But I think the thing with the shark eating the middle of the boat when reinforcements come, I think we just don't really have a clear understanding of how the shark chooses the targets on the boat. Like, we reinforce everything, right?
Except
It was
this one
numbing the
particular.
middle of the boat.
Yeah.
So I don't I think it's because of the grass plot. It's numbing the grass plot and not the foundation. Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't get to see it because you put me on top and I can't really see anything.
I really doubt
Uh,
it though, because it numbed one of the chests here, which is actually the original incident. We'll get to this tour part here. It numbed one of our scrap boxes at the bottom, which I don't particularly mind because it was empty, because scrap
Wow.
what is completely lacking
Okay.
in our gameplay. But yeah, so we have one specific area here that I didn't reinforce just so that shark would numb it. It has happened twice. When I originally destroyed and replaced it, the shark immediately attacked it, and then the second time we got attacked, he went from the very same spot. So my idea is to just leave that one spot open for attacks. So
Where? So
I don't
basically,
remember
the
which
shark's
one.
it's the one that's not reinforced.
yeah. No, he noms the one that's reinforced.
I'm very confused
It
now.
he noms the This one. He noms this. He noms this one because it's not
It's not
reinforced.
reinforced, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I said it numbs those that's not
Oh,
reinforced.
I didn't hear that
So
clear.
yeah. Okay, so it does that. I'm guessing that's a feature,
Yeah.
and because it gives the player some reward for using resources to uh reinforce their platform.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense that when all of these are reinforced, it goes after the middle part. So I had
It
to
goes
destroy.
after the middle part, like the chest here, but it was reinforced, right?
Yeah, it was reinforced.
So there's a hole in the ground.
Yeah, there was a hole in the ground. I
But I thought
fixed it.
reinforcement would just minimize the health, so it numbed on
It
it a
numbed
few
on it
times.
twice or three times. I'm not really sure. So
Okay.
that's a thing that I don't mind it numbing on reinforced items. Like it keeps you on your toes. It still has that benefit or that challenge of keeping the shark at bay. But if everything's reinforced, it should still be attacking the ones outside though because the
Not really, not really.
well,
I mean,
there's too many precious items. That was the how the game introduced the shark attacks should be. So I want them to keep that logic. Okay.
yeah, but the thing is, we don't know how the game reacts when you add reinforcement, like how it's coded. Maybe it's a bug.
Yeah.
Uh, they don't. It wasn't supposed to work that way, but we don't know that. So that's
We
like one thing. One thing that we dislike that when you put the reinforcement on the boat, and you reinforce all of the boat, sharks attack the boat at random platforms
yeah.
instead of just the outer sides. And then so to mitigate this, we had one foundation that did not have reinforcement.
Yeah.
So yeah, what can be improved on this? Mm, I don't know if it's part of the game design for the shark to numb on
Non
randomly after everything has been reinforced and to prior. I'm guessing that it's like prioritize non-reinforced, but when everything's reinforced, numb on anything. Maybe if everything's reinforced, you should just reuse whatever algorithm you're using for the non-reinforced and just numb on the outside.
yeah.
But this could be, like I said, it could be just design. Like the developers could have would have uh, did that on purpose. Like, oh, they reinforce everything, so why don't we just numb on everything? After all, they're probably doing fine.
No, it numbed on one of our. Imagine the frustration of us having to collect scrap metal since it is something that's scarce in our gameplay, and then the shark numbed on our second chest. That would annoy me. I'm just happy that it got something not that's empty. But I don't particularly mind it going for non-reinforced item because you can create a shark trap for that.
Oh,
Like
we can. Okay.
yeah, you can do a shark trap for
So yeah,
that.
so that's what we did. We did a shark trap.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you
So
see this
continue with your tour.
trophy wall, by the way,
Ah.
those are all of Echo's
Yeah.
kill. All of those are
Yeah. Yeah.
the creature actually. Oh wait, let's reintroduce them. So that's Bruce the shark, Brother Bear, Wunbad the pig, Paldur, Puff, and Puck the bird. I don't really know why. Also, oh, something that I did forget to mention, but see, he knocks on this non-reinforced
Sure.
one. See?
See, that's what happened. So we
Yeah.
just use that to aggro the shark.
Yeah. One thing that I did forget to mention since we're still on this animal captivity part is that the animals tend to clip through the walls. And that's not necessarily just for the goats, chicken, and llama. It also happens for the birds, which I will get into later. So that's a long enough intro for that part. Let's go to our kitchen. So I would go ahead and mention that this is my favorite area.
Wait, I'll be back. I'll be back.
Okay, so basically this is our well, so that we can refill our water station easily. And as soon as I built that, Echo went
Oh.
on the top of the bossy chamber, expressed her concern of what if I fall in it, and then as soon
I
as
fell in it.
yeah, she fell in it basically. As soon as
Gamer sense.
I was building the fence around it, and as soon as I finished it, she fell straight through that. So we had to build this mm,
Roof.
this roof over it. So yeah. Oh,
Oh
and it's
my
named
god.
Oof now. The Oof.
Yeah, oh.
And
I
here's
can still fall in. That's what I was trying to do from up top by, strafing.
yeah.
Oh
Oh my
my god.
god. And here's our raw food storage, courtesy of Echo's Fishing. And here's the cook storage. Contribution, collaborative contribution. And here's the glug chamber. And here's the cooking pot that we don't use in particular. Here's a storage chest for the recipes for the cooking pot. And here are all the old cooking items that we use. Here is the storage or locker room. I don't actually have a name for this room. Weird. Here's an extra box for all the wood because we collected a lot. And here's our ropes and leaves. Most of them are full, but since I was fixing the animal shelter yesterday, I used some of the leaves here so it's not full. Here's the nerd stand. Here's the animal skin. Animal skin. And then
Uh-huh.
here's
Uh-huh.
the metal ingot. Here's the copper ingot. Here's the smelted products and other materials that I had to lift from the first floor because the shark kept gnawing on us. Here's other smelted. No, these are other materials that we are supposed to be using for cooking, but I don't. Here's all of our tools. Here's all of our weapons that Echo tend to use, and I just replenished. Here's our headlights. Here's our stones that we don't particularly hunt for but kept getting them anyway. Here's all of the plastics. And here's the scrap, which I mentioned we don't have a lot of. So sadly.
Look at me, I'm clipping on the ceiling.
Well, I'm not seeing that on my screen. So that being said, let's go to the top where we have more item storage. The explosive goo, which we don't particularly hunt for but is useful when the pufferfish goes after Echo. Here are the sand. Here are the clay. Here are the seaweed. And then here are all the smelty products like metal, and here are the copper. And there are 10 smelting places in this area, so that's fun. Going up to the third floor, this is the plantation, where I don't particularly chop wood anymore because we have a surplus as mentioned. So it has its own storage for seeds and it has its own water station. Hey, move, you're in a way. Going back to the first floor is the no, this is the greenhouse. The queen bee or the bees that you're hearing buzzing around and clipping here used to be on this first floor. But since I can't lift up the beehives, I moved the plantation here, which is in hindsight the best option since it's easier to get water for them right here. But I moved them here and made sure to lift all the watering stations and all of the plants on the walls to make sure that they avoid it. One of the things I mentioned earlier is that animals tend to clip through, as you can see on the bees. Birds tend to also clip through here, even though everything's sealed except for the door. But they do tend to peck on things. I was going to make a point, but I thought this one was missing in particular, but it's still here. So, oh, there is one missing right there. So they do tend to nom on the item since it's clipping through. And I just wish that it would stop. Because,
Bird clipping. I
yeah,
mean, it would make sense. I mean, birds could fit here
it would, but
and here.
it would be, it wouldn't, yeah, you're right. Actually, no, I have no argument for that. I have no
Well,
argument for that.
birds
So
can
yeah,
fit
you're
there.
right.
Uh,
Never mind then. It's still frustrating, but you're right.
I mean, you could just put a wall and maybe just leave this door to be the only door. Wait. Yeah.
No, this will still work through. And then coming up to the second floor, and second floor is the bee stuff, which is all of the items that we use for the bees. So here are the few, because honeycombs and glass make honey, which the honey you can put in this fuel refiner station and then make fuel. So that's why it's fuel right there. And then here's the engine nom or the biofuel thingy. It has its own water station because you do tend to need to water the flowers here, especially when the bird noms on them. So here's the queen bee's room. Yeah, queen bee's room. And then going out. Hey, rude.
Those bees are a thing to hunt. Like,
Yeah, in Balboa. We haven't seen a separate evergreen aside from Balboa, so that's a thing. And here's where our updated feather factory is. So it's just there, it's wider, it's easier for me to poke them. Arguably, I haven't, my accuracy rate has gone down ever since I had more space to poke them, but that's a thing. And our fuel station, of course, connects through the pipe through all of these engines. And it is a task to go whenever we have to back up or something and open them. It is a task to activate all of these. So I just wish that in the
shark is
future.
numbing.
Where? Oh no.
Oh
Did
God.
he nom in the same space?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
it is.
It is a task to like open all of these in a row, and even more so to like change their direction. So hopefully in the future they can like add a feature to make it into one control, like they were able to do it for the fuel. So hopefully they can also do it in changing and turning it on. I know that they have an automatic water filtration system thing in for chapter 2, so I hope they'll be able to do something about the engines right here. And yeah, I think those are the things that I find frustrating. The shark numbing
No, that
reinforced.
was just the tour.
Yeah.
Now we
No,
go to
no,
the
no. Just
review.
that's just for the tour with regards to our raft and finding frustrating things.
Okay.
But those are my biggest peeves about this game. What else would you have, Echo?
What else do we have? So, I want to know what you liked about this game.
It is
What do you like about this game? Why do we keep playing it? Okay, go. Do you want
I
to go first?
I before I started the lore, just for context, I really wanted to play this game cooperatively even before we encountered the lore. I played this in beta, whatever. And I did enjoy it in a sense, but because I was solo, the grinding just got a little bit tiresome. So I like playing this game more with a companion because it's just a chill game, mindless grinding if you're not focusing on the lore, and you can kind of like set your brain, turn off your brain and just enjoy the moment. It gives off a sense of adventure in the comfort of your own home. And then the slight jump scare of encountering pufferfish and sharks and seagulls attacking and all of those tends to like wake you up from that zone that you're in and add to the little bit of spice. So it's just a pretty chill game to make myself relax after a hard day's work or a hard day's study work. What? But you know what I mean. It's a mind-numbing game that you can enjoy with your friends. So I really really like it.
So, for me, what I like about this game is that, you know, the boss tower is there for a reason. I just enjoy like going blank. Usually when we play this offline, I would play music and I would be on the boss chamber, navigating the boss and just jumping there. I don't really have to think much. It's very relaxing to just drive the boat. All right, and then when I get like, oh, okay, relaxing time is over. Time to kill some creatures. The creatures, by the way, I enjoy. I do hope that they introduce more creatures in the next chapters. Uh, for like the creature and everything. I enjoy that they also have their own different patterns of attack. It's just not oh, attack, blah, attack, run away. They do have their cooldowns and their patterns that you can take advantage of. Uh, so it makes them easier to kill. Although we are playing this in peaceful right now, but yeah, it gives the player an opportunity to kill an actual chance, and it's just not swarming the player. Uh, what I don't like is that some animals can't be killed. At least from my experience, I don't think we can kill the chicken and the goats, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. No.
Okay,
Leave them
so
alone. They're peaceful
look,
creatures.
it's just that I'm curious to what research they're gonna give. One more thing about the sharks, the pufferfish, and what we like to do on this island, we call it Spider-Man, doing the Spider-Man, where we kind of just slide. on the side of the mountains like this. So it actually makes it easier to kill some of the animals, namely Pumbaa. We call the wild boar. So um, I don't know if that's deliberate. Pumbaa does have his own pattern on how to kill it, but what I would usually do is abuse this system. I would abuse it to no end. I would be aggroing Pumbaa, and then I would be when he comes close, I'll just Spider-Man on the side of a cliff and just stab him until he dies. So I don't know if I like or hate that, or if that's really just I don't know. I'm just finding like game bugs. I would consider it a bug, I guess, since I think you shouldn't be able to do that. But that's more of a clipping thing for the game. So yeah, that's how I kill Pumbaa. I don't need this pattern. I'll just be like aggroing him. Slide, Spider-Man, come here, and then unslide to receive his aggro in there, and then come here again. So it's very fun for me to play with Pumbaa like that. So when getting to or more, I just escape via flipping on the side of the mountain. That works for the shark, and that also works for the pufferfish. Sometimes you see the pufferfish swimming on the land, which is
Yeah, oh
funny.
yeah. I saw it like floating inside a cave above ground and it was so confusing to me, but it was so cute.
So yeah, that I think the pufferfish is cute. It looks hideously cute. Okay, so that's what I think about the wildlife.
Oh, I
The
have something to
screecher is
add.
annoying.
I have
Screecher's
something to
fucking
add though.
annoying.
For
Oh what?
pufferfish, they don't have a cue music. Like
Ah yeah,
you can hear the shark kind of. You can like hear his or something, but there's no
yeah,
nothing for the pufferfish.
yeah. I can roll my earlier clip for that when I was like, oh pufferfish.
Oh my
they're
god. But yeah, those are the
they're
things.
cute. They're cute.
They're
But yeah. So improvements. Give me more animals, yo. Let me kill all these animals. Not that I would do it in real life, but resource wise, like chickens should drop like feathers and meat
would it
and
actually
whatnot.
be cute
What?
if the lurkers that you saw in was
The
it
rat?
Masagatan? If the
Yeah, Masagat.
lurkers suddenly just spawns on a big raft, it doesn't necessarily have to destroy your items and stuff, but it does tend to kill you on your own raft. And it would spawn on
No, that doesn't make sense. If it suddenly spawns, what would be good is that if it spawns when you land on an island
yeah, yeah.
randomly, but
That's
not
true.
when you're on the boat, because there's no way a rat will swim. Well, there is a way
Well,
that rats would swim in the ocean, but on a big vast ocean, not really.
yeah, and it would only spawn in like enclosed area. Like, well, this is technically enclosed for my definition of what I had envisioned. It doesn't necessarily have to have doors and all four sides covered with walls, but as long as it has that sense of enclosure, I think that would be enough. That would add some excitement. Um, I'm not
There's okay, okay,
I'm
you're not.
not particularly sure if that would apply to peaceful though, or maybe have the regeneration slow down. I'm not
Okay.
particularly sure.
So the next thing that about the creatures is that we saw this school of fish in the ocean,
Yeah, yeah.
but I don't really know if there's any interaction with it. At least from my end, we've tried the nest. Uh, I've tried poke them. They don't do anything. So I just want to know if can we catch a fish? I would like one in the water
I
chamber.
mean, it could be cute for decorative purposes, but
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think it's more ambience than anything. I don't particularly mind not having any interaction with those fish.
I want a goldfish up in the water chamber, water tower, rather.
So
I want a
basically,
goldfish.
you want more decorative items. That's
Yeah,
it. Yeah, yeah, I can argue with that. I don't know what I want as a decorative item, but yeah, more would be fun.
so we're done with with the like. What don't you like? What don't you like?
I mean,
Where do you start?
no, that's not what I'm causing. It's just that I don't have anything that I don't like. I have things that causes me frustrations, like I said or listed out earlier. But I'm very forgiving because I do understand that this game is alpha. So I
Early
don't have
access.
anything that I don't like. I do see things that I know needs
Okay.
improvement.
What I don't like about this game is that when we're going through the story, right? It's still early, sure. It's chapter one, sure. But remember when we went into the Raged Tower trying to we're scared because we had this element of the unknown if there were actually other people and NPCs.
Yeah.
So after going through the chapters, we realized that there are no people here. So the thing is, at least from the story point of view, we're trying to find people, and that would probably mark end game when we find the people, right?
Yeah.
But as I see the story going through now, there will be no people right now. Okay, I know that it's still early, but the thing is that scares me because that would mean there is no end game. And the constant state of our playthrough is always end game. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
If there is no end game, then there is no goal, and I can't really appreciate that. Like, sure, I mean, I could probably play this game in creative and just build big boat and just relax. Like I said, I like relaxing and just driving through all these islands. But when you make games, usually we play games to feel some form of accomplishment, get those dopamines going. That's the right chemical,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I think so, yeah.
So yeah, if I don't know how they're planning to end this game. I do hope that it has a rich story, that the ending will be satisfactory. Because right now, the only reason that I'm playing this is because you wanna play it. In terms of grinding, I'm not really into grindy games. So basically, that's the reason why, well, I'm like, whenever we're playing this, what do you want? And then I get it because
Eh,
I don't really want to grind for things. For me, I got more interested in this game after I found that there was a story to it. At least that's on my side. People like her, I don't know if she likes grinding and whatnot. That's why I was asking what you didn't like and what you like. But it seems to me that you like the grinding part. But this type of games, not really for me, at least.
it is it is in a sense that I don't mind grinding. I think um my gameplay of Stardew Valley, which is just technically grinding, as long as there's a satisfactory result for my end, like look at this boat, look at this boat, I'm so proud of it.
You know what I'm proud of.
What?
This
Yeah.
because
Okay.
I was working on their patterns and my end goal is to get them there.
Yeah.
That's it for me. But all these building things
Ye-
I could do without. I could probably just create a spear and a bow and then I'll be done with it. But all of these things, I don't really. I could just be fishing and probably I'll only have the first floor with the anchor and then some of this and then fish and then that's my game right there. I don't need this. I do want big boat because it looks impressive, sure, but
you were the one pushing
in
for
terms
big
of
boat in the
yeah,
beginning.
in terms of trying to go to your whatever you want to do satisfactory, this is it for me.
Yeah, and it is kind of like, this is why we're actually closing the episode with the first chapter, is because I am getting tired of all the grinding. Because basically, like I said, I mentioned earlier, the cooking pot, I wasn't really trying to aim for that because I don't see any value in it. But with this, I see value in having our own bees when chapter having our own bees and having our own plantation. um, when chapter 2 comes around, I see the point in having our own animals for leather when chapter 2 comes around. I see the point of having those two business deluxe and what was the other one? Deluxe suite
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
here for
So yeah. So this
visual
was the thing.
purposes.
Like I don't know. I don't know if you got this vibe from our past videos, especially from her. I mean, we probably wouldn't even have built this big boat if I wasn't like, why don't we explore everything this game has to offer?
Mm-hmm,
Because
mm-hmm.
she just wanted to go full story, and
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get my money's worth. I was like, let's explore what else. And then she got addicted into just freaking building the place.
For me, it's always about instant gratification. You dangle a prize in my on my head, I want to take that prize immediately. So dangle another bait in my face. If it's worth it enough for me, then I would redirect my attention to that
Yeah, so basically I
specific goal.
redirected it to I redirected her because it would have been a short affair to just go through the story. I mean, once you have those antennas, you don't know this, but I think we got those antennas the second day we
Yeah.
played,
Mhm.
and that's just 4 hours into the gameplay,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? Four,
Yeah.
maybe 5 hours. So
Maybe.
basically, you can finish this game in 5 hours or so,
The
maybe.
first chapter.
Yeah, the first chapter, basically. Yeah. So I was like, I gamer sense. It was gonna, it was gonna be, it was gonna be like that. So I was like, why don't we explore everything else about this game? So, and this is what we got.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you, do you
Uh,
ever regret redirecting my attention because you kept hunting things, or did that actually extended your interest in the grinding part?
not. I'm still not interested in the grinding part. It's just it gave me some time to learn the patterns of these animals and how everything, how to say, response, how everything, what do you call this? Basta.
React? How everything
uh,
reacts?
how everything behaves rather.
Okay.
So it gave me a chance to know the game more. Like you put me up top there, I was a bit like, what the fuck now? I can see how everything responds to everything or whatever the behavior and whatnot, like the waves and whatnot. Because I'm looking at the design point of this game. Like people are saying that it's like Minecraft on water.
Mhm.
Okay,
That's what I said.
okay, yeah. So what say? So let's have some. Why I'm saying that I play Minecraft. Okay, uh, what makes Minecraft great is that there's an end game. The Ender Dragon. That's like the end game. It's real. It exists. And after you beat the dragon, you get this trophy egg. There's your end game. There, you have proof that you have ended the game, but you can still continue exploring the world and things and whatnot. Then you can have mods and PvP with your friends. This thing has mods. I know this thing has mods, but to be honest, the one way for me that would probably make this more interesting is that there would be some form of, I don't know, maybe they are planning this, maybe not. We can put like a shark cage on the boat,
Ooh.
and then we could go under the water and explore. Basically, what I'm saying is that uh, one of the way that I find this game to be ending in one way is that it's going to end in Atlantis. Basically, what well, we're going to Caravan Town next, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm expecting Caravan Towns to be a ghost town, and will there be like some kind of civil war or something. Everybody just kind of struggled with the resources and whatnot, and people went away. And then there's this mad scientist maybe that decided, you know what, I'm gonna live in a submarine and build for friggin' Atlantis. And then now we're gonna find Atlantis. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But the shark cage idea would be nice. Like I want to be in the what with the shark.
I mean, I have no expectations of how the story would go. It's basic. I hate spoilers. And me anticipating of how things would go is basically spoiling myself. So in story
Ah,
wise,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Story
Story
wise,
wise, what do you think of the story?
yeah, story wise, I think it's cute. I did forget to do this yesterday because I was lacking in sleep, but I was planning on checking out how Radio Tower, Vasagatan, and Balboa, if there's any person or anything tying them together aside from them receiving the signals from their receiver, because the only reason why we know these coordinates is because of their receivers, right?
Someone's transmitting
Yeah.
their code. But
Yeah.
we know that the radio tower is, well, the radio tower is transmitting those codes. So someone must have landed in the radio tower and started transmitting codes in the hope of finding other people because they are sinking, if you remember.
Yeah.
So
But
rescue was too late, they died, and so on and so forth.
yeah. But aside from those signals being transmitted, is there like lore wise, is there someone consistent between Radio, Vasagatan, Balboa, and Caravan? That was what I.
You don't really need that because okay. So let's see. In the radio tower, I would think that Balboa has always been here, and Basagatan as well. And basically, what happened is that the radio tower, there are some people, it's syncing, so it's sending out its coded message. But
Mhm.
during the radio tower being still active, it got the signal from Basagatan, maybe, or possibly Balboa. So
Mhm.
now in Basagatan, since they have the code for Basagatan, that's how we got the radio tower, right? We found Basagatan code from the radio tower, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
they have this code for Basagatan. And probably the people from the radio tower, since it was sinking, right? So they
Mhm.
were like, we found the signal, we should go there because this place is sinking. But the code was probably transmitting for the radio tower, so people can find the radio tower and maybe lead them to Basagatan. And then maybe they attempted to go to Basagatan, and then Basagatan, since it is a ship, right?
Yeah.
It was probably going to Balboa
Yeah.
when Balboa was still active. Remember, there are radio towers in Balboa, but when we
And
got
big
there,
islands actually.
yeah, yeah, but when we got there, it was all turned off, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So when Balboa was still transmitting, when the people were still alive there, Basagatan must have been getting these codes, and they were probably on their way there. But shit happens.
Yeah.
And then we found Basagatan, which is amazingly still transmitting the code for some unknown reason. And then we reached Balboa.
No,
What I don't understand.
it's just that lore wise, usually when things are linear, there's like this um person connecting each storylines, for that big reveal, but I think they're not going for that
They're
route.
not. I don't think it's going for that because it's not necessary.
Yeah, but
Like
still,
there,
you would never know. So that was what I was trying to look out for, when I was reading the journal yesterday. But it's not necessary. It's just something like, because I don't have that sense of expectations. I go through all of the cliche storyline,
mm-hmm.
so to speak, just to see if are they using this already. It's not looking into the future of what's happening, because that thought didn't occur to me until we reached Balboa. I'm like, oh, radio tower, Vasagatan, they're receiving the signals. Ooh, aside from getting the signals, are there like an inside person doing all of these? But right
They're
now,
all inside person. If you remember the first
no,
letter
no,
from
I mean one
Basagatan.
particular person with the whole subplot working on this. Not, I know that
I
all of
mean,
them are doing this
read
for the
read
signals.
the notes. Read the notes. Who's writing the note that's still alive until Balboa?
I know, but still, you know what I
Who?
mean.
Who?
You know what
Yeah.
I mean.
And I'm asking you who? Who is on the notes that's still alive until Balboa from the radio tower?
The
That's
girl that
probably
made Elliot. They
so he's probably still alive and probably in Caravan Town.
probably, and you say that, but we see sunken rafts, empty rafts, and all of those. So we never actually know what happens to them until we see them. Who knows? Maybe
We
they
will
ended up
we
in
will never
Utopia.
seeing them. I don't think we will ever see them. Utopia might point to Atlantis, like I said. I want Atlantis ending. It's predictable, sure, but but it's gonna be like a submarine. Like, okay, after this chapter, you can play Subnautica for the rest of the game. But
Right.
I mean, I just I that deep blue sea, it's huge. This game is huge. The water is huge. I wanna know if there's anything under there. I mean, yeah, sure. It can't be just islands and on top of these islands. There has to be something under the ocean.
Yeah, and
Some
maybe that's
content. It's huge.
maybe
Okay,
they would put, oh, something that is
word,
interesting is
word,
because
word.
there's no that we can't reach the bottom of the sea. Even at the edge of this island, if you go down, there's nothing there. I've tried doing it with one
Creative.
rebreather and one flipper. I
Okay.
didn't had the chance to test it if I can change the rebreather with a new rebreather and see if that would refuel my oxygen. But basically I did that, and nothing. There's nothing.
Because there's nothing yet. Like we said, this game is still in early access. It would be cool if we could, like I said, collect resources from a shark cage. Like,
Yeah.
oh look, a submarine thing. It would be cool to be like under like a boat, and I will be like, oh look at me, I'm under the ocean.
I'm
See?
not particular. I think it would be tacky actually if we have, suddenly if we reach the end game, our raft would be able to become a
Oh
submarine.
no,
I think that would be
no, no, no,
tacky.
no, 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 no.
Putting it out there, just putting it out
Submarine.
there.
Like, do you know how I don't know how, if you know those things where you it's like a bubble of air, and then there's like here, and then we'll be like, drop me into the ocean,
Oh yeah,
and
what do
then
you call those? It's not
whatever.
scuba diving. It's not. What is it? The
I
one
don't know
with the
what
big
it's called.
helmet.
Yeah,
The
but
one with the big
it,
helmet.
but not something, but nothing like that. Like, it's just for exploration purposes. I mean, it's a deep ocean. I want something from this water at least.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my god, you aggroed
So
it without
yeah,
meaning to.
I directly jumped on it.
Oh, no
Actually,
wonder. Oh my god. But
I
yeah.
wanted more shark meat. I've been killing the shark constantly. If you weren't noticing, while we were doing this whole shenanigans.
Yeah, I've been
So
seeing that. In hindsight,
what? How would you rate this game
in its current state
out of 10? Yeah, at its current state.
as an alpha and not an overall game,
Yeah, your current state as you played it.
okay, then I would rate it 8 out of 10, especially since I played it with you. But probably if I played this alone, I don't think I will be able to reach this point because that's the thing about
It's
this
boring,
game.
right?
It's
It's
not
boring.
it's not boring
I,
for me. For me
it's
it's not
boring
boring.
alone. It's boring alone.
It's not boring alone for me. It's too much for me. Playing it alone is kind of like overwhelming.
It's a task. It's a task. There you
Yes,
go.
it's a
Not
task.
boring, sorry. It's not boring, it's a task.
Yeah, playing it
And game
alone.
shouldn't be a task.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. And I don't like being overwhelmed with the game. So, playing it alone is overwhelming. But since I'm playing with her, it's an 8
But
out of 10.
yeah, but then again, I think this type of games are actually designed to be played with friends. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't particularly dislike the fact that it's a task. Playing it alone, I don't mind that. It's fine. Because you have to manage a lot of things, and it encourages players to find other people to play and work with,
Mm-hmm.
which is in terms more fun experience, and I think a smarter marketing move for the devs, because that
Yeah.
means more players means more buyers, and I can't really give them hate for that. It's as a developer, you want people to buy your game,
Yeah.
and if it's more fun to play with others, then that's even better. Like playing games alone, sure. The problem, like I found with single player games, that usually they're story heavy. It's linear story heavy, and you play it once. It's not really that playable like a number of different times. Here, assuming that there is an end game, and we do reach the end game, you can continue playing with your friends for the lols. Yeah. Instead of just, okay, imagine playing this game solo and then you reach the end game. You'd be like, okay, thank you, this game. Thank you, next. That would be what that would happen. But when you have friends, you're like, oh, we finished this. Oh, we can keep grinding for this. We can keep making our boat bigger. Let's make a shark-proof boat.
Yeah.
You can be like that, and you can continue playing game even after the end game. Instead of just like, okay, thank you, next. I'm done with the story. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worth the money. It would be. It's more. It's going to be more worth the money with friends. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably rate this a 7 out of 10. Because there are some issues with the graphics, at least. I don't know if you see that. Remember when we were seated on a chair and we spin around?
Oh yeah.
But there, it can fix some things. But at the current state, it's 7 at 10. Enjoyable with friends. A task on solo. There's a lot. I would say there's a lot of things going on, but you can get into a routine, and it just becomes menial. How do you say? Is that right, menial?
Yeah. No, we can go
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, sure. So like what will happen is, like, this is our routine. Like we go. I play music. I play music. I drive the boat. Just drive the boat until we find an island, and then we grab the resources, and then we go back to the boat, and we go sail again. That's the routine.
I have
We
a
don't
routine.
really do.
I do
We
the
don't.
routine. I wanna share my
Yeah.
routine before you go, Gana.
Wait lang. Wait lang. But hindi, ano yun like that's the high level routine.
Yeah,
Like, okay.
but I wanna
And
share
then
my routine.
after that, uh, just rinse, repeat. Since we're done with the story, we don't really need anything anymore. At least from our case, if we need food, we'll just fish. Uh, but no, nothing. Like I could like probably get bored. I would probably get bored just doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, go
Even
share your
even
routine.
even if like even if we do get off an island, hunt the shark and all of that, since we're very good with resources, we don't technically have any trouble. As you can see from our raw food storage, we don't have any troubles with food anymore
You're
because
welcome, by the way. You're
yeah,
welcome.
because Bossy up there is on her tower and fishing while she drives.
Hey, you're the one who got rid of me.
Anyway, I got rid of her because my routine would constantly be going through this our collection net, making sure that they're empty. I would go around and look at while I'm going around the collection nets. I would also check if the shark nommed on anything because before we reinforced everything, the boat was just too big to even get to the shark and kill it. And then once I reached this point, I would open our plantation, and if I know that we're running out of fuel, I actually would try to collect some items there. Oops, I grabbed the raw beef. That wasn't on purpose. And then after that, I would dump all of the items I got from the collection net and from the from the collection net into this locker chamber. And then I would go upstairs and then check if the bees are ready, if there are, and then put the beets and the honey in their respective boxes, and then I go up here. Oops, I go up here and check if there are birds, and then just kill them. We don't really need the feathers. We have a lot of arrows. We have a lot of feathers, as can be seen in the skin storage. But that's it. And then before, whenever we were still needing a lot of ingots and stuff, I would be smelting it right here and then go down. As I mentioned, I don't really need to handle the plantation because we have a lot of wood, and then just restart everything. My worry is, since Miss Bossy up there can't be taken out of her chamber unless she's about to hunt, is that when we do get the animals, one of the reasons why I haven't pushed for getting the animals yet is because it's going to destroy my whole routine. Because
She
the
can't hit the fucking animals with the net.
yeah, basically, this thing uses batteries, and the reason why our animals died last time is because I was in that circular routine, because I was thinking, oh, it has batteries anyway, and ultimately it ran out of batteries even before it ran out of
Hey, I'm
water.
taking a spear, alright?
Yeah, it ran out of water before it ran out of battery before it ran out of water because I wasn't paying attention to it, and basically it was our on our old boat. That thing was actually positioned behind us, right by this engine. So when I would reach the end of the net or the middle of the net, I would just collect water and put it in the um, water filtration for the sprinkler, and then I don't get to see the water gauge and the battery gauge, and you have to like, I don't know how you can tell if a battery is used up without removing it from its box. So that's a thing, that's a task, something that they can potentially improve on, which just occurred to me. Like, how can we tell how full a battery is without taking them off? That would be helpful for stuff
I
like
mean, you're
that.
not even supposed to know if they're done until later.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean, in real life, if you want real life, oh, it turned off. Maybe no more battery.
well, maybe they would have a better indicator of when the sprinkler turns off, because I didn't notice it. Maybe it's there, but I didn't notice it.
But long story short, short,
Short,
short,
short.
short. It's grind, basically. Grind, 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 grind.
Dang, dang, dang. Yeah,
So
and
if you were if someone was gonna ask me, what's Raft like? Grindy. So some people like that. Some people don't like that. If you tell me a game is grindy, I'll be like, yeah, no, no,
the same way you react to horror games.
no. Yeah, no. Okay, when you told me about Raft, you told me it was grindy, right?
Yeah,
And I
did.
was like,
And then I said, but it'll be fun because it's Minecraft on water. It's going to be fun.
it's just groaning the whole time. I was just groaning.
But you liked it slightly better. It's 7 out of
Not.
10 for you, so you kind of
I
like
liked
it.
it. It made it 7 out of 10. Not gonna lie. The reason that it's 7 out of 10 was mostly because.
Okay then, I guess that's pretty much it for my part of the commentary. I'm pretty much good with this game. I'm still looking forward to chapter 2. I
So
think
yeah.
we're pretty much set for whatever adventures we'll have on chapter 2. I don't know how prepared we are. Aside from getting more scraps, I don't think we'll be lacking in anything. Um, so yeah, I guess this is it. Again, please like,
This is
subscribe
it for chapter one, by
for
the way.
chapter
Just
1.
chapter one.
For
We'll
chapter
probably
1.
play playing chapter two as well.
Yeah. Please
Probably.
like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think of this whole series. Aside from me not editing it, I will not acknowledge that. But yeah, I hope you stay tuned for when chapter 2 comes up. And I hope you have a nice day, gamers. Bye bye for now.
Gamer sense.